Oke, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We are from Seven Group. Here we would like to present about topic word and topic word. And then in this group there are four members. The first is Bustomi, and then the second is Rofik, and the third is Intan Kamil, and then the fourth is Muhammad Ashauki Ridho. But before we start our presentation, let's pray by reciting Suratul Fatihah together. Al-Fatihah. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahirrabbilalamin arrahmanirrahim maliki yaumiddin. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in ihdinas siratal mustaqim siratal ladzina an'amta 'alaihim ghairil maghdubi 'alaihim waladdallin. Amin. Okay. In this chapter, in this topic, there are four content. The first content will be explained by me, and then the second content will be explained by Intan Kamil, and the third content will be explained by Mr. Rofik, and the last is will be explained by Muhammad Ashauki Ridho. Okay, we would like to describe about the first content is about topic word, or what's your topic. Okay, what's your topic? Okay, why we need topic when we teach language is education. So we know that students more effective learn when they involve on the process. To involve student, we need interest topic. So to make a student effective learning, so we have to make interest topic. Okay, and what's your topic? Here, topic is a way of organizing children's learning and language learning around topics or themes of interest to children. Look at the example. Here is the example about the topic of your house. Here, the student will be describe and explain or do something about the house. The student will be learn the English of mathematics. Student will be explain or describe the house by mathematics, like how big the house, and then how long the house, and then student will also can explain about the house by how long the house, and then student will also can explain about the house by science. For example, like student explain the build from what build the house, what it is built from, like wall and then roof and etc. And a student also can describe the house what the house look like by drawing, and then many others. So I think that's all from this content, first content about topic word, and the next content will be explained by my friend Intan Kamil. Okay, time is yours.
We'll continue with subtopic number 2, which is how topics can be used as a basis for planning and organizing language learning. So this is not the only way to proceed, but it gives you a framework to start from, which you can try out in your own situation. You can see a circle there, and one with the star. It is choose a topic. So that the first material that we're going to discuss, choosing a topic. You might be able to choose your own topics, or you might need to follow those recommended in your syllabus. Whatever your situation, there will always be some decisions or choices that you can make, such as the order in which to do topics, what activities to include, how long to spend, deciding how to involve children. Then you can see here is topic web on wild animals. divided into four on maths, such as making animal heads line, comparing animal sizes, and environmental science, such as problem solving, sort animals into categories like air, land, sea, then observe and record information in grid, then continue with geography, like wall display forward map with animals located, and the last one is expressive arts such as make animals marks, listen and draw an imaginary animals. Here you could choose a topic by first asking children's opinion, which would be a way of involving them in the learning process. Then continue with consulting your syllabus and textbook for ideas. Next is asking the other teachers. And the last one is consulting books or magazines with ideas on topic work. Then we also have some factors which might influence your choice of activities. There are quite a few factors. The first one would be pupils' interests, such as what kind of wild animals are you interested in. Then we also have pupils' conceptual level, such as measuring activities involving non-standard measurement like finger spans can be carried out with quite young children, age 5 to 6, but making model animals to scale would be suitable for older children from 9 upwards. Then continue with time available to do the topic work. Next is level of language needed for the topic or to do the activity. Does it contain the right balance of new to familiar language? Then continue with level cognitive challenge, like will the activities challenge pupil mentally? Continue with potential for encouraging pupil involvement and participation, such as observe and record. That activities involve seeing and hearing. Then we also have making imaginary animals, and that involves manipulation, collaborating, talking together. Then continue with pupils' language needs, like does it help pupils to develop the language and skills they need to form a basis for communicating effectively? Next is resources available to do the activity. So resources is important. Then continue with syllabus, such as does the topic enables you to practice the language structures, skills, functions, attitudes, etc. required by your syllabus. And the last one is potential for linking with other activities. Like, can the activity be linked meaningfully to other activities so it makes sense to children? The topic wild animals is suitable for almost any age of learners, but you would need to adjust the concept include to match the cognitive level of the children. For example, one of the activities is a math story problem involving addition and subtractions, and another involves children using a map to identify the continent different animals come from. You would need to ensure that children were familiar with this concept from their general primary curriculum. I'm assuming that they would be suitable for a group of children aged 9 to 10. Several of the activities involve reading and writing simple text, so they would be suitable for children who could read and write in their own language and had already been learning English for 2 to 3 years. Other activities linked to the topic could include, for example, crossword puzzles, word mazes, card games, making clay or paper animals, and many more. All but one of the activities involve children using language. Making an animal marks involve important skills like observation and manipulation, but does not seem to involve language work. However, this activity could be used as the basis of other activities so that it would involve language work, such as children choose a character from the story of Lion's Party, learn the vocabulary for the materials they will need in making the marks, make the marks, describe their animals to the class, and then use them in a drama. Alternatively, their teacher could give children instructions to make the marks, which would involve them in listening. Once you have chosen your topic, you can make a topic web like the one above, the one with wild animals. Break the topic down into the related activities under the curriculum areas they represent. This will make it easier for you to think about the resources needed, the language, skills, concepts, and attitudes you want to develop and revise. You do not need to use all the activities in your web. It is a source of ideas which you can expand or leave as you require. Then we can continue with analyzing language or skills or attitudes in learning activities. The first one would be analyze them to see what language structures, skills, attitudes they involve. Then continue with identify which language structures, skills, will be new for pupils and which will be familiar and can, therefore, be recycled through the activity. Continue with check with the syllabus and textbook to see what language structures, skills, vocabulary need to be covered. And the last one is adapt activities in order to ensure that they do provide practice in using some of the language you want to focus on. The planning sheet below can be used for analyzing the activities. Once you have analyzed the activities, you are then in a position to choose which one you want to use with your pupils. But at this point, you might want to think about how to sequence the activities you have chosen so there are meaningful links between them from the pupil's point of view. So here are the planning sheets. The topic on wild animals, class 3, age 9 to 10. Activity 1, recording animals' hate. There are 5 columns. The first one about objectives and activity. Then the second about language focus, vocabulary and structure. Then continue with skills and functions. Next is pronunciation, and the last one is notes. As you can see here, the objective and activity, for example, to find and interpret information on animal sizes from books, and then language focused vocabulary and structures, for example, vocabulary related to size, height, length, number in meters and centimeter, such as deer, wolf. Then skills and function like finding appropriate books, finding key information about animals, sizes or height in library books, recording the information about sizes on a grid. And then pronunciation, final consonant cluster, such as in length. And the last one is notes, like links with math estimating and measuring skills, organization in pairs, and then compare answers with other members of the group before recording animals, hay on paper or on the wall. Children can be teacher letters, stick them on the wall. Then we have activity 16, make and describe an imaginary animal. There are also 5 columns, and the columns, where is it? And inside of the column is the same. It's about objectives and activity, language focused vocabulary and structure, skill and functions, pronunciation and notes. But what different activity 16 from activity 1? In activity 16 is about make and describe an imaginary animal, while in activity 1 in recording animals hate. Then if you choose activity 1, you could proceed it with an activity where children had to first estimate the heights of a chosen group of animals. In activity 1, they could then check if their estimates were correct or not. After they had completed the activity 1, they could practice making oral or written comparisons. Then if you choose activity 16, you could proceed this with activity 15, which introduces the idea of an imaginary animal through a listening activity and so provides a model of how to describe it. You can then follow activity 16 with guided written descriptions of the imaginary animals. If we create meaningful links between activities, the purpose of doing the activities will seem clearer and may make more sense to pupils. For example, if children estimate animals' heights first, this then gives them a reason for searching through library books to find out if their guesses are correct. This might lead to a greater involvement in the understanding. Then we also have the guidelines for sequencing. Our decision about how to sequence activities are based on assumption about how children learn. So the way we sequence activities might affect the way children respond to and process information in the activities. The criteria used in sequencing above includes 1. Moving from receptive to productive skills, such as listening to speaking. Then next is activity dependency, such as pupils need to predict the heights of the animals before they can check the heights in library books. In other words, one activity depends on the outcome of the previous activity. Continue with cognitive complexity, simple to more complex. From a simple guessing to a more complex problem solving. Then continue with moving from linguistically controlled to more free, such as from writing a description using given vocabulary to writing without any language help. And the last one is going from concrete or hands-on to abstract, such as making something and describing it, then imagining something and describing it. Then we have outcomes of activities for pupils. Here we will identify outcomes for activities. You can see there is a column from the students. What it's like. There is name of animals, color, size, body, and candid. Run, jump, walk, swim, climb trees. For example, giraffe. The color is brown with spots. The size 2 meters high. The body is long legs, long neck, and horns. It can run. It can walk, but we don't know if it can jump. And for the second picture, you can see a person describing a mix of animal. It says it's got a tiger's head. It's got a giraffe body. a bird's wings. Which one? And the answer is, as you can see here. And this is the outcomes or products. Animal pictures made up of different parts. Correct guesses, guessing which animals is being described by other group. Then for the activity, make imaginary animals from different body parts, and then each group takes it in turns to describe an animal orally. Looking at all the animals produce other pupils, then have to guess which animals is being described in activity 16. And in the last column is possible audience. Other pupils in the class are the audience for the descriptions, also pupils in other classes. So the activities in topic web could all lead to a different outcomes. For example, the drama could be produced as a written play, and the zoo visit could be lead to the development of stories or poems or reports rather than grades. It is also possible to vary the nature of the outcomes for the class instead of all the pupils producing the same outcomes, such as one grade. Each group could produce their own, which would give you several different wall charts, or each group could produce a different type of outcomes depending on the choice. This gives pupil more choice and responsibility. In topic work, pupils learn how to work together, how to find out information, how to manage their work and present it. The emphasis is on the process of learning, and so we could say that one outcomes is the development of process skills. For example, in activity 1, it might lead to an increased confidence in finding information in English, but it is also important for pupils that there are some definite and, and products or outcomes of the topic work. They will have a record of their own for their own satisfaction. They can also present their work publicly for others to see, which provide a real stimulus for checking and putting effort into the presentation. This is very important for language learning because it encourages close attention to language, in particular accuracy. Outcomes also provide you with an indication of pupils' performance, which is a record of progress and can be used for assessment purposes. Then we have starting points for topic work. If you can think of an interesting way of beginning your topic work, you will arouse pupil curiosity and make them eager to take part. The frogs, for example, that the children broke into the classroom in the cartoon at the beginning of the chapter would make an excellent starting point for. Thanks for choosing starting points. Below are three starting points for the topic work on wild animals. The first one is consider the advantages and disadvantages of each one, and then continue with which one would be most suitable for your learning situation. And the last one is what questions could you ask pupils to stimulate discussion for starting point A. Here is the advantages and disadvantages of wild animals. Uh, First, the advantages first. Point A provides pupils with first-hand experience of wild animals, gives pupils the opportunity to develop observation skills and find out things for themselves. Is likely to be very memorable and exciting for children. The experience is likely to encourage pupils to raise questions, which provides a good lead into the topic. Then for the advantages, point A, there may be no zoo or park within easy access. It requires a hour of organizations to be successful. There's a large amount of information for pupils to take in. There are many opportunities for distraction and children getting nosy. Teacher may need help in escorting children, and much of the discussions between children may be in L1. There is also another advantages and disadvantages. There are point B, point C, as you can see in the table. In deciding, in deciding which would be the most suitable option for you, there will be a number of things to consider. For example, although you might be attracted by the idea of taking pupils to a park or zoo, it might be practical in your situation. It might be not practical in your situation. However, it is always possible to focus on what are sometimes called mini pigs, the small animals which can be found around many school gardens, such as worms, snails, lice, etc. You have to weigh up the advantages and disadvantages of each option, the amount of time available, the number of the class who would be available to help in taking the children on a visit, the amount of language practice it would provide, and so on. It might be that in terms of opportunities for language exposure and practice, you can achieve more by telling people a story. The important thing, however, is to know why you have chosen a particular option and to be able to justify it in terms of your overall goals. To stimulate discussion for the zoo or park visit, here are some suggested questions. These are not the only possible ones. If you know your class well, then you can relate your questions to their specific interests and experiences. The questions are designed to stimulate thinking and to draw on children's background knowledge and experience. If children have limited English, accept answers in the L1 and then rephrase them. Highlight the keywords you want them to learn. Before the visit, you might ask, have you been to a zoo before? What animals did you see, big or small? And then continue with which animal did you like best? Why? Next is, what does it look like? What does it eat? Where do the animals live in the zoo? Is there a real home? Then, why are the animals in the zoo? Are they happy or sad? And the last one is, what animals will we see in the zoo tomorrow? Maybe that's all from me. The next material will be presented by my friend. Thank you.
Warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Okay, the next material will be explained by me. The next material, how to organize topic work. Focus on what are something called communal base, the small animal which can be found around many school gardens. How to organize topic work. There can be a lot of work involved in organization topic work. So it is best to start small. How much time do need? How much time do I need? Plan how long you want to spend on topic work. Prepare an overall plan of activities each week. How long does it take? Here is an example of set of activity for 1 week based on zoo animals. How long would you need to do this activity? How long you would need depends on whether you have specialization or for English. Which of these activity would you keep and which would you change? Which activity you do will depend on the level of your pupils, needs and interests and your teaching learning or teaching or learning goals. What material do I need? Monitoring and recording children progress. Keep records of how children work, the learning process, as well as of the outcome of their work during the topic. Classroom organization. Decide how you will organize pupils for each activity, remembering to a very way of working and lesson. How shall I organize children to these activities? How would you organize children for the following activities? Listen and listen and draw imaginary animals. This could be done as a whole class activity with children working individually to listen and follow instruction. Make and describe imaginary animals. Children could be organized as well class first as the teacher demonstrated how to make the animals. How to group children. For group work, you need to think about how to group children. This can be according to friendship, ability, measured ability, shared interest, grouping children. How would you group children for the following activities? Observe and record animals. For observe and record, you could use friendship parts, and children are more likely to cooperate. Make and describe an imaginary animals. For make and describe an imaginary animal, you could use measured ability group that children with stronger or oral skills could support this who are worker. I think that's all from me. Thank you very much. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Alright everyone, thank you for the time. Now I'm gonna present about the benefits and problem of using topic work. The benefit of using topic work may vary depending on the circumstance and topic being used in teaching. There are some benefits that can be achieved when the condition supports that benefit. Deciding which condition work to create a good learning environment is a must, because not every benefit can be achieved in one lesson. There are some conditions supported by topic work or benefit. First, we can create a real need and desire to use English on children. It is usually based on children's interests, so if they're interested in their topic, they're gonna have a real need and desire to use English. Finding their interest in topic provides experiences that involve them physically and mentally. In communication, we use physical and mental, of course. Secondly, topic work provides sufficient time for English. Actually, it depends on how much time it is allocated for English lessons. So it's actually not necessarily a benefit, but use long exposure to various topics make learning easier. Thirdly, topic work provides exposure to varied and meaningful input, whether it's from the teacher or from friends, with a focus on communication. Variety activities based on topic can make children find a way to communicate and do things in purposeful method in English. So if they want to do this, they have to communicate with this type of words and so on based on various topics. Fourthly, using topic-based work we can create a friendly atmosphere so the children can take the risk. They not afraid of mistake, of wrong, but the required side is interesting topics. If the children did not interested in this, they'll be afraid to being schooled because they have any mistake. And secondly, the support of teachers in their attempt to communicate. The teacher must support and interested too in their ideas, in the children ideas, so that the children have the feeling that this is good, this is a friendly atmosphere. In the fifth, the topic work provides an opportunity for children to experiment with their language. The focus on communicating and sharing ideas encourage children to express their meaning using whatever language they have. It also provides plenty of opportunities to practice using English in various contexts. Many practice and experiment will make their language is better. 6. The topic work provide a feedback on learning. Plenty of opportunities will be available, but it depends on the teacher making use of this. Maybe sometimes the children have some wrong or using a not so accurate word to describe something. Teacher can give a feedback, and it based on every single child in there, in every ideas that they have, so that they feel that they're improving themselves. It's good about the feedback. And last but not least, it can help the children notice the underlying pattern in language. If the teacher can draw the attention of the children to the language, the opportunity for it will occur in many ways. Maybe they found a pattern, or in this. So if you want to use this language or this word, we have to do this in this topic, so on and so on. Of course, while there are many benefits that can be achieved by using topic-based work, deciding which one to use in specific situations is another factor. Some of the benefit cannot be achieved because of the problems accompanying it. There are some problems that can be examined in using topic-based work and suggested solution for them. Here's the first problem. I'm an English specialist teacher with no knowledge of the general primary curriculum. Well, the suggested solution is only a suggestion. Make a lesson plan together with class teacher or subject teacher. It can be easier. Alternatively, use story as the basis of activities of topic work, because story covers many things. The second problem, many pupils cannot work independently. So how about the suggested solution? Plan for gradual independence. Maybe in the first semester we have many session of instruction and so on, but plan for how they can be independent with communicating about their ideas with their friends. Not only about instruction, but instruct them to communicate independently, while you or us, the teacher, observe them and giving a feedback or solution with gradual decrease in the intensity, so they can become more independent. Another problem, it does not allow systematic coverage of the basic English syllabus. Well, this is one of the most thing about that maybe become obstacle in teaching. There's a suggested solution. Combine the topic with the course book, or do the topics work once a month or two as a way of recycling language that they have learned, so that they can feel I have learned. They have the pride. I already learned many things, and they also practice again about what they have learned. Another problem: children tend to use their language one or their first language. A suggested solution: build in different stages of activity. Firstly, about exchanging ideas, focus on fluency, focus on how they enjoy what they do. They may use their first language or mix of their first language and second. In later stage, we can focus on how to present before audience accurately. So that in the first, they have to enjoy what they do first, and secondly, when they already enjoy expressing their expression, expressing their activity, interested in their activity, they can use their English better. Another problem: I have limited resources. There is a suggested solution. Get children bring things in, for example, pictures or postcards, because there are many things in their house that have English words. Alternatively, use second-hand products from daily life or ask for spare materials from factories. For example, paper, newspaper, advertisement, or boxes of something, maybe milk and so on. In conclusion, we have many benefits in using topic work. For the problem we can tackle or we can solve it in many suggested solutions. I think that's all. I'm sorry if there are any mistake for our groups. Thank you. We kindly await your suggestion about how we improve this PowerPoint and so on. We await your question. Thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.